Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about how to build your own makeup collection. This isn't for like doing artistry, but just for yourself. So if you guys are interested, then just keep watching. So to start off, you want to make sure that you are focusing on your skincare. I know we all get lazy and we slack off and we'll go to sleep with our makeup on. I'm guilty of it too. So make sure that you're trying not to do that as much as possible. One thing that helps me is makeup wipes. Like if I have a makeup wipe where I can just sit there and like take off most of my makeup with it and then go wash my face, it's so much better. Because I hate just going straight in with makeup on and just like having to like scrub it off. The skincare that I use is by the brand called Botanics, and I pick it up at Target. I just started using it about a month ago and I seriously love it. They have 3 different kinds, I think it is, for different skin types, and the one that I use is for brightening because I have dry skin. They didn't have one that was like hydrating, but I feel like brightening is kind of like in the same boat. That is the one that I use, and I have the face wash, the moisturizer, it's the day cream, and then I have their toner, and they have a night cream as well, but I just use the day cream. And the moisturizer goes such a long way. I literally like tap my finger in and dab it on my skin and just rub it in, and it goes such a long way. It's amazing. So you don't need a whole lot of it. It's really affordable skincare. So I definitely recommend trying it out. They have some for like oily skin and acne prone skin, I think, stuff like that. So if you're looking for new skincare, that is definitely something I recommend trying it out because I really enjoy it. You want to make sure you're taking good care of your skin because it's going to help your makeup to look better, go on smoother, less breakouts, and you're just going to be happier with the overall appearance. Next is primers, and this also depends on your skin type. I have normal to dry skin, which is funny because before I had like super oily skin, but then I took this acne medicine called Accutane, and it literally like it cleared up my skin really well. It's a really strong medicine though, so definitely really talk it out with your doctor, research it before you try it. It's for really bad acne. My acne wasn't really like cystic, like terrible acne, but I just had such oily skin and like such acne prone skin, especially in my cheek areas, which I think is just because of hormones. But it was just terrible and depressing, and I tried like everything and nothing would work, so I finally just did that and it cleared up my skin. And for the first like few months after I finished it, my skin was clear, and then it started to break out again, which my dermatologist did warn me of, that with women sometimes it doesn't work as well as it does on men, because my brother did it like right before me and his skin is still clear, and it's been about a year since I've been off it, probably for him like a year and a half or so, and his skin is still super clear. But mine has started to break out again, like just in my cheek area. So I guess my hormones just aren't giving up, but my skin is a lot better than it was before, so I'm just okay with it, I guess. And I don't have to deal with the oil that I did before, and that is really like the best part about it. I have normal to dry skin, so I tend to lean towards just like a moisturizing type of primer, but I also have really large pores and textures, so sometimes I will go for like the Benefit Porefessional or the Makeup Forever, the Step 1. It's really smoothing on your skin. The NYX Angel Veil Primer, I really like that one. And the L'Oreal Magic Lumi Primer, I really like that one. It's super moisturizing. So whenever you're starting out your makeup kit, you want to just focus on your skin type, because that is going to help you get the best primer. Also, primer is important because it helps your makeup last long. So you do want to invest in a primer. They have wonderful drugstore ones. Some of my favorites are drugstores. So the L'Oreal Magic Lumi, if you have dry skin, it's really great, super moisturizing, and it's affordable. The NYX Angel Veil Primer is super good for like smoothing, and it doesn't dry my skin out. Even though I have dry skin, I like it because it does do the smoothing effect, but it doesn't dry me out. NYX has a lot of good primers in their line. They have like a purple one for brightening, a green one for covering up redness, a photo one. Like, all of NYX primers that I've tried I've really enjoyed, so I would definitely check out their primers. If you have really large pores, the Benefit Porefessional is a really good one. It's just an overall really good smoothing primer, but it is more expensive, so it just depends what you're willing to spend. If you are willing to spend around $30 for a primer, then I do recommend the Benefit Porefessional, but a lot of people aren't, and I totally get that. The Makeup Forever Step 1 I think is around the same price. They have a few different primers, but I really like that one because it's super smoothing, and it's super expensive too. So like I said, it just depends what your price range is, what you're looking for exactly. So yeah, primers is definitely something to start with. I would get maybe 1 or 2 primers that you know you really love, maybe like a mattifying one if you have oily skin, or a moisturizing one if you have dry skin, and then having like a pore filling one. Just 1 or 2 primers to start your collection will do you pretty good. That's really all you need. Just find something you really like and stick with those. Next is foundation, and I have a few different foundation recommendations, but it really depends on your skin type. I tend to look for something that is going to make my skin look smooth, cover up imperfections, but still look natural and kind of dewy. A lot of the foundations that I am going to talk about though can be used and made matte, because they're not necessarily dewy foundations, but the products that I use with them could make them more dewy, or you could use products that make them more matte. The first one I want to talk about is the Too Faced Born This Way. It is a really good versatile foundation. It's not a super matte foundation. It's pretty just like a nice natural finish. But if you do set it and you don't have super oily skin, then it's going to be pretty matte on you. So that is a really nice foundation. They've got a lot of good shades, and I think it's $39, which is kind of up there, but it's really worth it if you're just investing in a good collection for yourself. If you just find one good foundation that you really like, which foundation is something that I am like willing to splurge on. There are a few things that I'm not, and that is just one of the things that I am willing to splurge on, because foundation is like super important to me. That is a really nice foundation. It pretty much works for all skin types. Really good. The Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation is a lot like the Too Faced Born This Way, but even better. So if you're willing to spend your money on really high-end makeup, that one is like $64, but it is such a great foundation. So like I said, it just depends what you're in the market for, but if you're not in the market for that, the Too Faced Born This Way is really close to that one. So I would just go with that one if you're not willing to spend the money. Another foundation that I really like is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation, which is weird because, like I said, I do not lean towards super matte foundations, but this one is kind of like a demi-matte, and I just love the formula of this foundation. It is such good coverage, and it looks so natural on the skin that I'm okay with it being like a more matte foundation. If I don't add a whole lot of powder and a little bit of highlighter, I can still look dewy and hydrated. That is seriously a wonderful foundation for so many skin types. If you're oily, I definitely recommend trying it out because it is affordable. And if you have super oily skin, this foundation was like my lifesaver. The Kat Von D Lock It In Tattoo Foundation. That will literally like soak up your oil so much you won't have to worry about your blotting like 15 times a day, like maybe twice a day, but it seriously cuts it down so much. So if you are super oily, I definitely recommend trying that foundation out. It's super matte and it's just really full coverage. It's just a really good foundation for oily skin. That was my go-to whenever I had oily skin. So just like primers, with foundations you may want to find like 1 or 2, even 3 that you really like, or for some people just 1 if you like it enough. But if you're kind of like me, and some days you may want matte, or some days you may want super glowy and light coverage, or really full coverage, you want a few to choose from. You can get BB creams. I like to keep a BB cream on hand just because on days where I'm just doing my makeup really quick and I don't want like super full coverage, I will just grab a BB cream, my beauty sponge, dab it in, a little bit of concealer, mascara, and I'm good to go. So the NYX BB cream is one that I really like. I think it's super good coverage for a BB cream, but it's super lightweight and it's just so light and easygoing. So if you don't wear makeup a lot, that is also a good foundation that I would recommend for you. Well, it's not really a foundation, but it's something that I would recommend with you starting with. You're just not super into foundation, but you want a little bit more coverage. NYX BB Cream is really good. Also, It Cosmetics has really good BB and CC creams, so try those out if you're willing to spend a little bit more money. If I had to pick two foundations, I think that I would pick my Too Faced Born This Way, just because the price compared to the Giorgio Armani, and maybe my, that's hard. Okay, I'm gonna make it 3 because I need a BB cream. So I would pick like my Too Faced Born This Way, my NYX BB Cream, and my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. Those are probably like the 3 foundations that I could live off of. But since I'm like a makeup fanatic, I have more. But for you, you really just need 1 or 2 if you prefer it, but really you can get away with just 1 foundation and you're good to go. Next, I want to talk about concealer, and this is something that I really feel like you just need 1, because if you find 1 that you really like, then that's all that you need. Maybe 2, and I'll tell you why, but really you could get the same concealer in 2 different shades. So why I say 2 is because you want something that's going to cover up your dark circles or whatever you have under your eyes that you want to cover, or blemishes too. So what you want to cover up under your eyes, you want it to be kind of like a shade or 2 brighter than your skin tone, because you want that center of your face to be highlighted. But if you want to go in and cover up a blemish, say over here, you don't want it to be like super light, and it's just going to be like a super light dot in your face. So you want a concealer that is going to be matching like your foundation, and a concealer that's going to be matching your under eye area, what you're going for with that shade. And my all-time favorite concealer is the Tarte Shape Tape. It is so full coverage. It amazes me. Like literally, I will put on my foundation and I'm like, oh, this is so frustrating. My blemishes are just showing through. I'm going to go in with concealer. It's probably not going to even cover it. And then when I go in with my Tarte Shape Tape, I'm like, literally, where did they go? Like, you cannot even see them. It's such a good concealer. It blends out so easily. It lasts forever. It doesn't crease as long as you set it. You always need to set your concealers. I don't care what anyone says. You need to set your concealers or you're going to crease under your eyes. So that is just a really bomb concealer. I love it, and I would recommend it to anyone. It comes with a lot of product compared to most high-end concealers, and it's $24, which is actually cheaper than a lot of other ones like the Nars and the Naked Urban Decay. I definitely recommend that concealer to you guys. But if you are looking for something drugstore, one I would recommend to you is the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer. It's the one with the little sponge on top. That is my favorite drugstore concealer. It works wonderful. It's so creamy, so smooth. It blends out great, and it's got nice coverage as well. So if you're looking for a drugstore one, I really recommend that one. Or the NYX HD concealer is also a really nice one. For another high-end one, the Nars is a really good concealer. It actually kind of reminds me of the Tarte Shape Tape, but a little less coverage. But it's a really nice concealer. And then the Naked Urban Decay concealer is also really nice. I like that one for the under eyes because it's super lightweight, and it really does not crease. It's so good, but it's not as near as full coverage as the Tarte Shape Tape. So if you're looking for something a little more lightweight, I would go with the Naked Urban Decay. I like to use a Nars one just to kind of spot conceal, but if I have like a really large blemish, the Tarte Shape Tape is what I go for, and I use it under my eyes as well. So just depends what you're looking for. 1 or 2 concealers should do you pretty good. You don't have to go splurge a bunch of money. So concealers, you can find a lot of really good ones at the drugstore, just like you can foundation. Next comes powders, and this is something that is super, like, depends on what you look for. For me, I'm super dry under eyes, so I'm super picky. Like the Laura Mercier, that is such a good powder, but under my eyes it just dries them out so bad, and everyone loves it. And I do love it for the rest of my face, but under my eyes it just dries them out so bad. So if you don't have super dry skin, you'll probably love that powder, but for me it's just not good for under my eyes. I do love it for everywhere else, and it's super expensive, so I'm kind of glad I don't love it that much because it's like $38. So yeah, my Coty Airspun powder. That is a drugstore powder that is super affordable. You can get it like Walgreens or Walmart, and it's literally under $10. I can't remember exactly how much, but it's super cheap, and it does not dry my under eyes out, and it's super good for all over the face, under the eyes, for baking. So I definitely recommend trying that one out. And while I'm saying these names, don't worry about like, oh, what did she say? Like going back and playing it again, because I will put down all the products that I'm mentioning down below, because I know that while I'm talking about them, it'll be confusing and you'll just forget what I said. So another one that I like is the RCMA No Color powder. A lot of people aren't willing to order online, so that is the downside of this one, but it is super cheap and is my favorite setting powder. It does not dry my eyes out at all. I don't use it on the rest of my face because it is pretty bright. It's really brightening, so I like it just for under the eyes. The Airspun has a little bit more of a yellow or skin tone color to it, so I like using that one for setting my face. But the RCMA is a really, really good under eye setting powder. Another one is the Ben Nye Banana Powder. I really like this one for when I'm super tan, and I want to recommend this to you guys with deeper skin tones. It's really good for brightening under the eyes without using just like a white powder, because obviously that shade's not going to work out for you. So a nice banana color is going to work out a lot better, and you can get it on Amazon, order online, and it's kind of pricey, but you get a lot of product, so it's not too bad. With powders, I think as long as you get one good baking powder and one good setting powder, you should be good to go. One powder that I really like for just setting the face is the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. It comes in just like a little compact with like a plastic lid. The packaging is, but the product is wonderful, and it's like so cheap. So I definitely recommend that powder to you guys for just setting your face. It's such a good powder, and it's so affordable. It's crazy. Next is bronzer and contour powders. My absolute favorite bronzer is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is super affordable. You can get it at Target or Ulta. I'm not sure if Walmart carries Physicians Formula, but you can get it at a lot of locations, and it's super cheap. It's such a good bronzer for like super pale people, because it's still bronzy, but it's not going to look super orange on your skin. And if you're tan, it's just a nice like subtle natural bronze, but you can build it up if you want to. I really like it a lot. For contouring, I really like the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I think that this is like the best contour palette on the market. Like Loreal, Anastasia, they all have good ones, but Kat Von D's is my favorite. Her powders are just so smooth. I love her color options within the palette, and she now has replaceable pans. So if you don't want to buy the whole palette because not all the colors match you, you can just go buy the individual pan for like the setting shade and the contour shade. This is what it looks like. She has new packaging though for the replaceable pans, but this is what the three setting shades are, and then the three contour shades. So say if you're deeper skin and like these are not going to work for you, just get these two right here, because you can just get those separate and put them in your own Z palette, or you can just buy this one and then just keep buying the replaceable pans for this one. Whatever works best for you, but I really love this contour palette. I think it's around $46, and that's pretty pricey, but I think it's great because you can get the replaceable pans and not have to just keep buying the whole palette again, because I guarantee you will not go through every single shade at the same time. There's a lot of good bronzers out there. The Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, the Urban Decay Beach bronzer is really nice. Neutrogena bronzers are really good. I like the one in the shade Sun Kiss. It's a lot like the Urban Decay Beach bronzer. So whatever works for you and your skin tone, because depending on what color skin tone you have, you may want like a really deep bronzer, you may want like a really warm, more, I hate to say orange, but like warm tone bronzers have that more like orangey color to them. Not necessarily like orange on your face, but I don't know, just like a more warm, really bronzy look. Or you can like a really cool tone one, which cool tone ones are better to contour with. I really like the Shade and Light palette by Kat Von D because it has a really good contour shade in it for light skin tones, setting powders, and the middle shade I like to use it to bronze because it's a little bit more warm toned. So if you just get that palette alone, you should be good to go. But you should get the Physicians Formula because it's just so good. Next, I'm not a huge blush person, so I don't want to go like too into depth with this because blush is just like You need a few colors here and there. You can buy individual ones, you can buy a palette, and you're good to go. I don't feel like you need a ton of blushes to be satisfied with your makeup, so I don't go too far into it, but I think e.l.f. has a really good palette, and it's like $4 and you get 4 colors in it. These colors are super like versatile. I stabbed this one, so just ignore that. But this one's like a really nice peachy color. It reminds me so much of Nars Orgasm. And these two over here are more mauve-y colors, but this one's like a really light pink one, and this one's a deeper one. And then this is more of like an orangey brown blush. I really like this one whenever I do really intense colorful looks and I want a little bit more color added in my face, but I don't want to use like a pink blush. I really like that one, and it's literally almost a straight dupe for the blush in the Jaclyn Hill face palette. It's Amaretto. I'll swatch them for you. They're literally so similar. That is what they look like swatched. This one is the Jaclyn Hill one, and this one is the e.l.f. one. As you can tell, they're super similar. They're super similar. The e.l.f. one is just a little bit lighter than the Jaclyn Hill one, but it's still a really good blush. So I definitely recommend this palette. I think if you just get this one, you should be good to go. It's a really nice blush palette. I will recommend to you one other blush, and that is the Sonia Kashuk blush in the shade Sunset. I think this is just a really nice pink coral blush. It's such a good shade to have. It just goes with like literally everything. And it's super pretty in the summer. I really love this blush, so check out this blush if you just want like one good blush. I think this is a really good one. A couple other brands that have really nice blushes are Milani. They're super cheap. You can get them at like CVS or Walgreens. And Wet n Wild. They both have really nice blushes and they're super duper cheap. So just kind of check out their shade selection, see what you're more attracted to, what you like for your skin tone. But those are two really good brands. I say just get you like a nice neutral blush, a nice mauve tone blush, and a nice corally pink blush, and you're good to go. You don't need a whole lot of blush. That's why I really like that e.l.f. palette, because you basically get everything you need in one little $4 palette. Next, I want to talk about brows, and this is something that I am like always changing because I used to use the Anastasia brow pomade. I really like that one. If you have to really like draw on your brows, that is a super good one because it's so pigmented and it's really smooth. So I definitely recommend that one if you are into the whole pomade thing. But if you're more into brow pencils, Anastasia has really good brow pencils. They have the Brow Definer and the Brow Wiz. I particularly prefer the Brow Wiz because I like to have the smaller pencil so that I can get in and make hair-like strokes. But the definer I think is really good as well, just for like defining the outer end of your brow and filling it in. So it just depends what you like better. Also, the NYX Micro Brow Pencil is like my favorite brow pencil from the drugstore. It is so good. Every time I go to get it, it's sold out because a lot of people love it, and a lot of people talk about it here on YouTube, and so a lot of people go buy it, and I guess they like it. So definitely go check that out. It's super affordable. It's a really nice brow pencil. And then as far as brow gels, the NYX Brow Mascara is my favorite. It is super affordable and it's really nice. They have a lot of good shades, I feel like, because they have a blonde, like a light brown and a dark brown. And I feel like that's really all you need, and the blonde is just a really nice color if you have lighter hair. And I've used the Benefit Gimme Brow, and I really like that one too. It's really nice for like a high-end one, but I like my NYX Brow Mascara just as much, so I definitely recommend checking that out. For your brows, I recommend just getting like a pomade and a brow mascara, or a brow pencil and a brow mascara. That's all you really need. Just find one you really like, find your shade, and stick with those two products. Next is mascara, and some of my favorites are from Benefit. They just have really nice mascaras. One of them is the Benefit Roller Lash, and another one is the Benefit They're Real. Those are both really good mascaras. I like them a lot. I definitely recommend checking out the Benefit Roller Lash if you want to add some curl to your lashes, because it's really good at curling them for you. Obviously use an eyelash curler if you don't have curly lashes. I never use one because mine are just like super curly naturally, but I still like that mascara. It's really good, so definitely check it out. It is a high-end price. Most high-end mascaras run around $24, So if you're willing to spend that on mascara, definitely check it out. But if not, I really like the Maybelline Rocket Volume Express. It's in this blue and pink tube. I really like this one for volumizing my lashes. It's just a really good drugstore mascara. I also like this Pixie Lower Lash Mascara. It's really tiny. This is a little bit extra, but if you have really small lashes, even on your top lashes, this might be good for you because it's so small and allows you to get so close to your lash line without getting it all over your face. So I really like it for my lower lashes. It's a really good mascara. You can get it at Target. It's by the brand Pixie. And that one I think is around $14.99. Obviously it's not going to be your like #1 mascara for your top lashes, but I do really like it for the bottom lashes. Another mascara is the Tarte Lash Paint. This is like one of my all-time favorites. It is such a good mascara. It's so volumizing, but it separates the lashes really well. It lasts really good and doesn't transfer on my skin for me. So I really like that mascara as well. It depends on what you look for in a mascara because some people want volumizing, some people want curl, some people want just something super natural. But all of these are super good. Just try some mascaras out. I'm sure you all have like something you really like now. But I would just say getting like 1 or 2 mascaras that you do really enjoy, and that is all you need. For eyeshadow, this is something that's kind of hard to recommend for a collection because everyone is attracted to different things. But I feel like the best thing that I can recommend to you is Morphe eyeshadows because they are such large palettes and they have a really nice color selection and they're super good quality for a great price. I'll show you one right now. This one is obviously not going to be like your go-to. This is like a super colorful one, but the Morphe 350 is like my favorite palette of theirs. Their 35F is really beautiful. It's like a really nice fall palette. And then this one I really like for doing like fun, colorful looks, obviously. And it's super good for Halloween to create just like whatever you feel like. But I really like this one too. Or just, it's nice to have if you just want to add a pop of color into your look. So the Morphe eyeshadow palettes are something super good if you're starting out your collection because you get so many colors and they're like $23, so I think it's just a super good price and I really enjoy the quality of the Morphe eyeshadows, so I definitely would check them out if you haven't. It's really nice for starting off your collection. If you're not into the Morphe eyeshadows and you want something that you can just go to like Ulta or Sephora and get, the Tartelette in the Bloom palette is so nice. I love this palette so much because it only has 16, which I say only 16 because compared to the Morphe it's not a lot, but I think it's just like your average amount of shadows you get in a palette, and it's got a really nice selection. You've got some nice neutral colors to put in your crease, you've got 2 really pretty shimmery shades, and then some deeper colors as well if you want to deepen it up. There's like a nice burgundy color, a deep brown, and then like a cool tone deep brown. A white one so you can set your lid, a cream shade. It's just really nice. This is a really good versatile palette. So if you just want like one good palette that you can create some pretty looks with, this is a really good palette to start off with. Another thing I want to recommend is if you're into just buying like individual shadows is Makeup Geek shadows. They're so good. And you can just get your own Z palette and just buy the individual shadows and put them in there. A lot of beginners aren't into like buying individuals, but it's just something I thought I would mention if you are into that. Makeup Geek has really affordable eyeshadows. They're just like $6 a piece and you can get them individually and build your own palette if you want. So that's really nice about those, and they're super good quality. For eyeliner, I'm just going to basically talk about ones that you would create a wing with. If you're into like the pencil liners, I don't have a whole lot of recommendations for those because I'm not really big on putting like black eyeliner in my waterline. I will tightline my lashes sometimes, but I just use like any black liner for that. I'm not super picky. But for winged liner, I've got a few recommendations, and the first one I want to say is this Wet n Wild Mega Liner. It's a super defined like pointed tip liquid liner. It's so good and it's super black and it dries nice and matte. So if you haven't tried this one out, I definitely recommend it. It's really affordable and I really like it. It's super nice. And another one is this NYC liquid liner. This one's literally like $3. I got it at Target, but you can get it at the drugstore as well, and it is a liquid liner like this. It's a little less pointed than the Wet n Wild one, but I'm still able to get a super defined like wing with this one. It's also really nice, really black, and dries down matte. Another eyeliner that I've really been enjoying is this Loreal cream eyeliner. I don't know if these are still available, to be honest, but I found one and that I had and I totally forgot about it, and I just forgot how much I love them. And I think it's funny because the applicator is just like the new Benefit brow gel. It's got the pencil that you pull out and attach like that, and then it just comes off like this, and it's a cream pot liner. And I really enjoy these. They're super smooth and go on really nice and last a long time. So if you're willing to spend a little bit more money, these Loreal ones are super nice. A drugstore alternative to that is the Maybelline Eye Studio. What is this called? I don't really know what it's called exactly, but it's just their like gel pot liner. And this is in Blackest Black. It's just a really nice matte black gel liner. You're going to need your own separate brush for this, but so if you're into these pot liners, you will need one of those, but not too much of a hassle. You can get those from like e.l.f. and they're super cheap, or if you have one already, just use that, but these are really nice as well. So I feel like I've covered everything except for lips, and this one's kind of hard because you pretty much just buy whatever shade you're in the mood for. But if you're a gloss person and you just like to wear like neutral glosses, the NYX Butter Glosses are super nice. I really enjoy those. They're really nice and glossy, and they've got a great shade selection. They've got some nice neutrals, deeper colors if you want to wear them like over top of a dark colored lipstick, and they're super affordable. The NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams, if you're into like a matte lipstick, are really good as well. I really like those. Pop Beauty, which they sell at Rite Aid and stores like those, I really enjoy their lipsticks. I think they're so nice and they smell so good. I love their lipsticks. This is the packaging that I have mine in. I'm not sure if like they have different kinds. This is the only one that I bought. But this one is in the shade Satin Rose, and I just love it. It's such a beautiful color and it smells like coconuts. These are really nice and super comfortable on the lips. If you're into more of a high-end one, the Too Faced Melted Matte, these are super comfortable and really nice lipsticks. I really enjoyed those, and they've got a wonderful shade selection as well. Basically, for lips, I would just get like a perfect nude shade for you, a perfect nude lip liner to match. Sephora lip liners are great. I like NYX's pencil liners. I don't like the retractable ones, but their pencil ones are really good. And Sephora, like I said. Sephora also has really good liquid lipsticks as well. They last forever and they're really comfortable on the lips. They don't have like a really nice shade selection. They've got about 10 shades or so in it, I think. But they've got enough to choose from for just a couple good staple colors. But I would just stick with like a really nice nude shade, maybe a pinky nude, a brown nude, and then get you like a really nice burgundy like dark lip if you're into that, or a brown lip. Or like a nice red shade if you are into red lips. Oh, and one more brand I want to mention is the Rimmel Kate collection. These are such good lipsticks. They're not super matte, but they're just kind of like comfortable on the lips, and I don't know how to explain it. I just love the formula. It's so comfortable to wear. It doesn't feel like you have anything on your lips, and they have a nice shade selection as well. I really enjoyed the shade 14. For setting sprays, I almost forgot those. The Gerard Cosmetics setting sprays are really nice, and they just came out with travel sizes, so those are really good. You just need to get like one good setting spray, honestly, one or two. That one is a really good one. It helps your makeup stay on a really long time. The Urban Decay All Nighter is a good one. They come in a travel size, so if you want to buy that one because it's a little bit cheaper, see if you like it first. That is a really good setting spray. Makes your makeup last forever. And another one I want to mention is MAC Fix Plus. This is not necessarily for the longevity of your makeup, but it just allows those powders in your face to mix together with the liquids and everything just to look a lot more natural on the skin. I love MAC Fix Plus for that. It's a super good spray for just refreshing your makeup and making it look like skin. So it is a little bit pricier. It's from MAC, but it's just a super good setting spray. NYX has a dewy and a matte finish setting spray. Both of those are really nice, so just depending if you want matte skin or like dewy skin, those are both super good and affordable. And I think that's all the setting sprays that I really want to mention. Those are just my really good like top ones. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope I was able to help you guys out. If you have any questions, just ask them down below. And if you're interested in seeing how to build a brush collection for yourself, then just let me know. And if you enjoyed this, then give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to connect with me on my social media, I will have all that down below as well as the products mentioned in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.